All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. This 2023 IndyCar season has been a runaway in favor of Alex Palou, but Josef Newgarden put his stamp on things this weekend as he swept both races in Iowa as he's holding out hope of catching Palou. Newgarden clearly had the fastest car this weekend at Iowa as the rest of the drivers were in slow motion at times against him. Newgarden was able to close the gap between he and Palou this weekend as the deficit began at 117 points and now it's down to 80. But at one point, it appeared that Newgarden was going to slice even more off of that lead as until a late caution yesterday which was a result of Ryan Hunter-Reay going into the wall. It gave Palou the opportunity on the restart to jump up in the standings. And at the end of the day, he finished third yesterday. So you can look at it and say, well, Chip Ganassi Racing may have lost the battle, but they won the war as Palou still has plenty of cushion between he and Newgarden for the top spot in the points race this season in IndyCar. But overall, not taking anything away from that, it was a big weekend for Penske Racing as Newgarden won on Saturday, while his teammate Scott McLaughlin took second in that race, and then Will Power, who was a pole sitter for both races, took fifth. But yesterday, it was a swap, if you will. Newgarden won again, but this time Power finished second, while it was McLaughlin who took fifth. Now, Power, like I said, was a pole sitter for both Saturday and Sunday, but his Penske teammate in Newgarden, plain and simply, just had a better car this weekend, and it showed in the latter part of the race. I mean, you go back to Saturday, Will Power got off to the strong start. He led a good chunk of the laps, went into the wall late, just nicked it, and it kind of threw him off for the remainder of that race. And then you go back to yesterday, Will Power got off to another good start, but Newgarden just simply had the better car. There's no other way about it. Newgarden this season has been the king of the ovals as he's won each oval race in IndyCar this season. And of course, that was highlighted by him winning the Indy 500 2 months ago. Now, Newgarden has joined Al Unser Sr. and AJ Foyt as the only IndyCar drivers to win 5 consecutive oval car races. And overall, this was his sixth win at Iowa. Now, Newgarden will definitely look to keep that momentum going as IndyCar heads to his hometown of Nashville in 2 weeks. It's going to be, he's definitely going to look to shine in Nashville, obviously, speaking of Newgarden, but he's going to have to contend with Palou and his Chip Ganassi teammates and Scott Dixon and Marcus Ericsson, who are currently third and fourth, respectively, in the standings. And if you watched it this season, Alex Palou on the street courses has, really torn it up. So this could be another opportunity for him as well. Again, Palou is comfortably in the lead in the points over Newgarden. But at the end of the day, Newgarden is really the only driver who has a realistic shot at catching Palou at this point. And like I said a couple of weeks ago, when Palou won 3 consecutive races, that the race is on for second. And for Alex Palou to not win the points championship this season for IndyCar, it's going to take a huge reversal of fortunes for that to not happen. Especially at this point, we're talking about we only got 5 races left. You'd have to have a scenario where Palou would have to have a couple of DNFs. Newgarden would definitely have to win a couple of races for things to change. Possibly happening, because there are freak things that you just can't just predict or, you just can't account for. But the way that Alex Palou and Chip Ganassi Racing overall have been turning it up this year, it is a long shot. It's like I said, it's going to be a tough reversal of forces. You got 5 races left, Nashville in a couple of weeks, the Indy Road Course later on in August, Illinois at the end of August, Portland at the beginning of September, and then Laguna Seca out in California to finish things up. But nonetheless, getting back to this weekend, Josef Newgarden was just tearing it up. Everybody else was racing for second, kind of like how everybody's been racing Alex Palou for second for the majority of this IndyCar season. But nonetheless, big weekend for Newgarden, big weekend for Penske as they showed out in Iowa. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now, you can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I'm signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.